Hello everyone, welcome to DocEngage. This is Jayashree. In this video, I'm going to show you the workflow for Homecare IPD. So here you can manage all the home care admitted patients where you can track all the patient conditions, reports and can share the discharge summary also. Now let us see how to admit the patient first and then I'll show you how to create the care plan for the admitted patients. So first, if I click on this create button, I can admit the patient by clicking on admit patient, or I can also admit the patient from the patients who are registered already, who is taking the service in the clinic, or they have come for the consultation, or some for some other reason the patient is already registered with the DocEngage. So for that patient also we can admit. So let us take the patient who is called Ramesh. I want to admit this patient means I can click on three dots and admit the patient from here also. So I'll show you from the create button how to admit first. Admit the patient. Here I need to select the patient name. I'll select the patient Ramesh, who is 65 years old, and patient has been selected. Now I'll choose the care center. In which care center I want to register this, I want to admit this particular patient. I'll say Columbia Asia. And what is the visit type? Is it the inpatient or a home care admission we are going to take live? Right now I'm going to show you the home care admission. So I'll select this home care itself. Then the specialty. What specialty? I'll choose the dentist. And then what is the service type? Will stay dental. And then the case category, is it a home care or a in clinic? It is a home care, so I'll select the home care, and I can assign the supervisor who is the supervisor for this particular patient who is admitted. So let us say Dr. Prakash is the supervisor, and the provider who this particular patient is assigned to is Dr. Ankit. And I have selected notify option for both the providers. The notification will be gone once this patient is admitted. And then what is the admission date and time? We can choose that. If there is any lead reference ID, that ID also we can paste here. For example, there is one, this particular patient is a lead for us in the DocEngage. Then we can give that reference ID here also. And then if you want to notify more providers, for example, that from nurse, you want to notify means you can select that particular provider name also, and you need to associate a service plan while admitting the patient. What type of service plan you want to associate? So right now I'm saying the specialty is dentist. Okay, then we can associate a service plan which is related to this patient's problem. So I'll just select the consultation package now. And if I want to add any admission reasons and admission note, I can write the reason and the notes also and save. The patient admitted successfully. Whenever we are admitting a patient, a service plan will be automatically created for this particular patient who is admitted. For that, it will show in the patient timeline. I mean, if I edit this service plan, we can see the activity which is created, where there is one task created for the provider. Here, if I edit the service plan, I can add more services of care plan for this particular patient. Same way how we have added the care plan from the templates, or I can add from the service options, add service button which is there. I'll add one service right now and show how. So I'll just say, uh, let us say tooth implantation is the service which that particular patient is looking for, and I'll select the who is the doctor. Dr. Ankit is the provider I want to select, and I can even give the repeat is. What is the repeat is 1 hour, 1 day, and how many units I want to give for 3 units. So I can give the same appointment details here also, same appointment. Since I have given 3 units, so the three appointments are automatically created. And then if I want to add any work list for the provider, I can add the work list as well as the outcome and save. Or I can also add save and add other service or medicines, all this thing. Right now I'll just save this appointment service plan. item added successfully. For this particular service plan, I have added the service called tooth implantation. Now for this particular service which I have added, I want to create an invoice. For that, if I click on this drop down next to the print option, I can see the completed or a discontinue or cancel and create invoice. If I want to complete this particular care service plan, I can complete also or discontinue. If the patient say that they want to discontinue this particular service plan, they can also, you can also discontinue the plan or cancel the plan as well. And now right now I'll show you to create the invoice. If I click on the create invoice, it will directly take me to the invoice page where I can add the, everything will be already there. Since I have given the 3 quantity 3 appointment, it is already taking for 3, and the total bill is also showing for the 3 quantity. So I'll just save the invoice. Invoice added successfully. Now the invoice which I have created is here. This is the invoice which I have created. It is added and it is showing in the invoice list page. So you can see the, it is all, the status is also showing that it is approved. Since this is the since this is the provider who is there in the team configure team which I have done in the provider application, it is showing us approved. If the provider is not there in the team, then it will send for you need to follow that send for approval, and you need to get the approval. After getting the approval, you can receive the payment. So I can directly receive the payment also. So I'll go to the same service plan, and I want to add one more service. Like you can add more services to this particular service plan itself. So a care plan. So you can add one more service. I'll add root canals. I'll just say change the. I'll just add one more service to this particular care plan. Repeat each one and save. Now one more service is added to this particular care plan. Now for this one, I need to create the invoice. You don't have to go to the finance section and create invoice. Again, you can go to this drop down, create invoice. One more invoice will be created for the pending services. Whatever the services you have added, if there is any pending services which has not been created, which there is no invoice created for that service, means you can directly create the invoice from there. Then all the pending services, for all the pending services, invoice will be directly created. See, now I have added invoice successfully. Now one more invoice number is showing here. If I click on this, it will show me the invoice which I have created. Now I can edit the invoice and see for the root canal it is added one more invoice is added. So like this you can add the invoice. And now let us say I'll go to this patient, and now all the admit, since I have created a service plan and I have created the invoice. Now I want to do the discharge. I can do the discharge from the EMR IPD is there. Here if I go, the patient who is admitted, it is showing here, patient name is Ramesh. If I click here, I can see edit all this discharge option. So now I want to discharge this patient. It is asking the patient status, is the patient improved, stabilized or hospitalized, all service break, all these things. We can select the reason. I'll just select the patient status has improved. The patient has improved now, and I want to discharge this patient from my hospital. I can write the status, and if I want to add any outcome achieved, discharge notes, I can add all these things. And I also have discharge instruction provided to uh, patient and others. All these things I can select. Do you want to notify additional providers? Since assigned and the supervisor will get the notification. If you want to again add any other provider who need to get notifications that patient has discharged, you can select the provider name and update. Patient discharged successfully. Now we have admitted the patient, we have added the service plan for the patient, we have created an invoice for the added services, service plans, and I have already also discharged the patient. Now I want to send the discharge summary to the patient. How to send the discharge summary means, if I go here and click on discharge, three dots, I have this view discharge summary. I can view this discharge summary complete, whatever, if you have done the chatting, added any prescriptions, all the notes, if you added, everything will show here in the uh, discharge summary sheet. And also you can see header logo. If you want to, how much you want to share, you can send by email, or you can even print the discharge summary also. And if you want to create any insurance claim, then you can click on this, and you can, all the invoices which are created will show here. So let us say for the service plan, for the prescription, all the invoices which are created for this particular patient will show here in the this here in this page. You can select for whichever service the insurance is applicable. So let us say for tooth implantation, the insurance is applicable, but not for the root canal. Means we can select this and enter the date. So I'll select the date and save. So now the insurance claim added successfully. I can now again view the insurance claim print. I can print, or I can even see the shortcut also. So I can print the discharge summary and discharge summary also, as well as the print the insurance claimed as well. So I hope you all understood how the home care IPD works. See you all in the next video.